Why do people think that all of a sudden they understand politics? Why all of a sudden is everybody they have an opinion as to a political race? This is politics, a political race. Why do people think that, oh, I know what's going on? Oh, we're just wait a minute, whoa, 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 whoa. It's like me watching a cricket game and all of a sudden just talking about it. They have no idea of what they're talking about. Oh my God. And I'm going to say, keep them up. And I want you to tell every one of your friends, I'm telling you right now, tell them that Kamala's got it. Do you see the crowds? Oh man. I'm telling you something right now. Trump better be worried. Tell this to all your friends. Have them say, what? Did you see the crowd the other day? Did you see that UAW crowd? It was like 4 people. By the way, how does this woman expect to go to the United Auto Workers and have them say, by the way, if you vote for me, it's going to be electric cars. So all you, unless you switch over to electric vote, you're going to basically endorse yourself out of a job. I'm telling everybody because everybody is out of their mind. From Joe Rogan, we'll get to that, to everybody. Nobody knows what do they think this is? Is this America's Got Talent? Do they know anything? I've got 2 people I know, two I look to. One says, that Tim Walz, great guy. He's a hunter. Where's the Carhartt? I put up on YouTube a picture of Ed Gein or Gein. I never got the exact. He was the one who basically, he was a grave robber who killed his mother, dressed her like a deer. He dressed like Floyd R. Turbo. He was one of the inspirations for Silence of the Lambs. I'm putting his picture up. I'm saying, in fact, I wrote, nobody gets what I'm doing. It's like being, the funniest writer. Nobody gets it. Maybe it's not funny. I think it is. I wrote, Tim Walz captures that Midwestern sensibility in his attitude and outlook. Not to mention his unique apparel ensembles, ensemble, and clothing choices, reflecting an outdoorsy view of the world. Down to earth, a hunter, a man of the woods, rustic, bucolic, and reasonably harmless. And there's, of course, his Ed Gein. So my friend, I'm thinking, do you? He goes, oh, listen, you don't understand this. I've lived in Minnesota. I said, that doesn't make any difference. No, you don't understand. I know him. I said, okay. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, what do you think of Rudy Giuliani? He says, crazy. I said, I lived in New York. Best mayor we ever had. You don't know what you're talking about. I said, now, maybe he is crazy. Maybe he's out of his mind. But what I'm saying is, because I knew him then when he was doing something else, that bleeds over into his behavior now, and that should somehow what? Change your opinion? I don't understand. I said, do you remember how great things were when Trump was president? What Trump world did you live in? Tell me the hell you went through. Tell me one thing you went through, and they can't answer the question. Tell me how bad it was. You could say, well, it was awful, because I can tell you right now, during here in New York, the Eric Adams administration, during de Blasio, during Jimmy Carter, we hated him, in interest rates, gas lines. You can point to something. I said, point to one thing that you say, it was bad then. What? Tell me. They can't answer the question. Ask any of your friends. Ask them, what was it? So another friend of ours, oh, you're going to love this. We were talking about Biden, and she says, what are you talking about? He's all over the place. I said, wait a minute. Joe Biden? Yeah. No, he's not. He canceled all. Did you see him at the White House? Some sports team, he says, oh, you're haberdashers. He got the word wrong. He was sliding around. This woman swore that Joe Biden is all over the place. I said, what are you talking about? These people are demented. They're demented. Like, well, the polls are up. I said, are you looking at the average? Which polls are? I said, have you ever heard about peaking? You don't want to peak, or they're shooting their. I don't want to say that. That's an expression. They're executing their load. Think of it like a shooting. They're doing it now. They're doing this now. Trump says he wants to have 3 debates. Kamala saying, well, I'm finally glad he agreed. And when they said, what about the 3? Well, September 10th. What about the 3? She's still not talking. He did a 72-minute speech today for everybody. And she's ducking and dodging, and he's getting creepier and weirder. Nobody's watching him. Have you seen him? He's like the kid on the stage who's mugging. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Let's just jump into this stuff. Oh, this stuff is I am loving this. And there's no particular order to my presentation.
Rick. Listen, I had 107,000 people in New Jersey. You didn't report it. I'm so glad you asked. What did she have yesterday? 2,000 people? If I ever had 2,000 people, you'd say my campaign is finished. It's so dishonest, the press. And here's a great example. I had in Michigan recently 25,000 people, and 25,000 people we just couldn't get them in. We had in Harrisburg 25,000 people, and 20,000 people couldn't get in. We had so many. Nobody ever mentions that. When she gets 1,500 people, and I saw it yesterday on ABC, where they said, oh, the crowd was so big. I have 10 times, 20 times, 30 times the crowd size.
I know.
And no, they never say the crowd was big. That's why I'm always saying turn around the cameras. I'm so glad you asked it. I think it's so terrible when you say, well, she has 1,500 people, 1,000 people, and they talk about, oh, the enthusiasm. Let me tell you, we have the enthusiasm. The Republican Party and me as a candidate, but the Republican Party has the enthusiasm.
Did you see the disaster? Where were they at that UPS, wherever this was? They had to bus people to this event, and it was a disaster. The logistics person, they were stranded. People were furious. You didn't hear about that. She's walking around and people are saying, oh, the polls are up. What polls? What are you talking about? You know what? Keep it up. Keep telling all her voters, hey, don't worry. Don't show up. She's going to make it. I told you this before, and I'm going to say it again to you. This is still the best. I want you to look at Real Clear Politics has got a good one. It's a good place to start. I mean, they kind of identify the particular polls. Here's the link. All right. I want you to go to this link, and I want you to look at this right now as we speak right now, because it's not gushing, but looking at what Trump has 219 electorals. She has 208. And look at the methodology. There's 111 toss-ups. And she said solid Harris is they consider New York. I don't know about that. I don't know any. You have no earthly idea what is happening at this point. God, it's delicious. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Heffelfinger says, just want to give another channel some attention. The People Pundit breaks down polls and does his own. He thinks it's going to be close, but also thinks the polls are wrong. Eric, do me a favor. Make sure you go to his channel and mention me. That's all we want to do. Thank you for that. Victoria Bentley, thank you. Not now with the polls. Let me start off with the polls. Not now. You don't worry about polls now. Now, I mean, if he has no, I mean, if there's no action at all, that's fantastic. Not now. This doesn't make you've got 90 days. Specifically, you've got 89 days. 89 days. Just wait. Watch this. Watch very carefully. These polls. Find out where. Just remember these polls. There was a woman by the name of, and you know it, I love it. You know it. Her name was Hillary Clinton, and she had such wonderful polls. And I'm not still sure about that one. Tabor says, thanks, Lionel and Mrs. L. Thank you, sir. Ken Diazio said, join the conversation late, but keep the plates coming. Oh, yes, indeed, Kenny. Kenny, I just started. You're right on time. Now, here's another one who doesn't know what he's talking about. I love this guy. I think he's one of the most important podcasters, but he knows about politics. Absolute nothing. He likes people for reasons I don't know what it is. If I went in and I said, "Hey Joe," it's Joe Rogan, "can I do some UFC talk?" Yeah, I like that guy. Yeah, I like the way his hair. I like what he does. He does a lot of charity work outside, and he's a great speaking voice. You know, have you ever heard him sing? He's terrific. So I think I'm going to vote for him tonight. Joe would say, "You're out of your mind." No, no, no. I like him. I like what he does. You know, he was a third grade teacher. This guy. I go, what the hell difference does that make? What are you talking about? They would laugh me out, but for some reason, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Even the great Joe Rogan, he says, "I like Bobby Kennedy." Bobby Kennedy is a jadrul. Something ain't right with him. Don't take my word for it. This is what our good friend Joe had to say.
But they do. That's politics. They do it on the left. They do it on the right. They gaslight you. They manipulate you. They promote narratives. And the only one who's not doing that is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
What? What?
You a fan?
Yeah, I am a fan. Yeah, he's the only one that makes sense to me. He's the only one that he doesn't attack people. He attacks actions and ideas, but he's
please.
He's much more reasonable and intelligent. I mean, the guy was an environmental attorney and cleaned up the East River. I mean, he's a legitimate guy.
Yeah, okay. Listen, with all due respect, I love the guy. And even Nathan Shield knows. Nathan says, "I am still concerned about the illegal voting." Oh, as well you should be. Nathan, you maintain. I'm with you, buddy boy. Bobby Kennedy Jr., and I'm sorry to say this, okay? But I'm going to say this, and I hope nobody takes it the wrong way. But when you've been a heroin addict, I don't know what that does to your brain. I really don't. And I'm saying that with all due respect. I'm trying not to be mean, but I wonder sometimes. This is a guy who said, "Hey, I'm going to get to the head with this bear story. I'm going to skin the bear." And he's a natural person. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, you know, the bear thing, and I'm going to do it on Roseanne's show. She's serving me coffee, and I'm saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, I did a bear. There was a bear cub, and I skinned it. I wanted the bear meat, and I don't know what happened then. I threw the bear in Central Park, and then I had the." As his vice president, he picks money bags from Google, who is a child, hooks up with Shmuley Boteach, a great guy, but absolutely goes, I mean, full tilt, which is his right. But why don't you just move to Tel Aviv, join the IDF? And why don't you just go to Gaza, go there and fight Hamas? It's real easy when we're here. Soul says, "Here's one for you. The economy is so bad right now that even Biden's job is being outsourced to an Indian." Oh my God, that's funny. That's actually, I can see that. So this is Joe Biden. Bobby Kennedy Jr. has been so milquetoast about his father's murder. What's his name? Thane. Oh God, what's the guy's name? RFK. Thane Chase. What's his name? Thane. What's his name? Oh God. Thane Eugene Caesar. Did you ever hear Bobby Kennedy push? And here's what happened. And here's what happened with my father. He's great about COVID, great about the vaccines, great about that. Going to go with the vaccines. Good for you. Yes, Bobby. Yes. Go. What about your father? Who killed your father? I don't know. What about JFK? I think the CIA. Wait a minute. You should own this story. You're the eldest child in that group of the first tier grandchildren. I never understood that. I would be. Tara Reid is more on Joe Biden and others. I just those Kennedys are the biggest. They are so bought off. They are so mockingbirded. None of these people, even Rory Kennedy. Hello. By the way, you ever see the choppers on these folks? With all due respect, she could eat an apple through a tennis racket. My God, through a picket fence. I've never seen anything like it. Put them and the Osmonds together, and they won't be able to close their mouth. I'm just saying. She's the documentarian, but nobody wants to do a documentarian as to who killed their uncle and their father. Have you ever seen this? They've been told you are not going to expose anything. Do you understand that? You were the Kennedys. You want to keep your money? These folks, we can wipe out your trust funds, whatever that is, in a heartbeat. Shut up. But there's Bobby. He's talking about the bear and this, and I'm a falcon. What about your father? Oh, yeah. And then I drove up to meet with Sirhan, and I stopped off and I left Cheryl in the car. That is the weirdest guy ever. Of course he's smart, but he's just, living that Kennedy life. All of those kids were nuts. All of them who, in his family, Ethel, bless her heart, she was a widow. She never had any control over these people. They were just, and they think somehow. And the worst is that Schlossberg. Oh, this guy, Caroline's son, who thinks he's channeling John Jr. This is the weird. I'm going to leave it at that. But you know what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Huh? You know what I mean? Freedom says Kamala will do whatever it takes to beat Trump, even if on her. Okay. With all due respect, I love Trump 2024. You know I can't read these things out loud, right? You know that? You know that, right? Bimmy Bean. There's all kinds of jokes. Thank you. There's all kinds of jokes about coming from behind. Okay, yeah. Remember that the old day? If Bill Clinton had come clean, there wouldn't have been the dress in the first place. There's all of this stuff and I know there's in the knee pads but, there's better stuff. Let's talk about this. She's going back to Kamala. They're peaking out. She's got 90 days to go. They're selling caps. Look at these caps they're selling. Great. That's good. Terrific. That's great. She hasn't spoken. She hasn't even had a press conference. She won't talk to anybody. They're also getting antsy. They're asking her, listen, somebody's got to reel her in. Hey, listen, anybody who catches her, Stephanopoulos made a name for himself. Stephanopoulos made a name for himself. I mean, not before, but when he when he was the one who probably was more responsible for destroying Joe than anyone. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, he was really good at that. And that was something which is one of those things which so a lot of people are sitting back and they're saying, I don't know if I'm going to sit back and give her an easy ride. I might be a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, a little bit more a thorough in my review of her than others. You know what I'm saying? I might be a little bit more aggressive, dare I say, in this whole thing. Because a lot of folks are still thinking to themselves, we can't sit back for 90 days and do nothing. There's going to come a point where she's going to have to say, listen, do something, say something. And let me tell you who also is going to get real weird is her boy. That's right. The war hero, blood and guts himself. Yep. Wait till you hear what other people are saying and wait till you see what everybody is talking about now. And it's most fascinating. Absolutely, thoroughly fascinating. Why do I say that? Well, a couple of reasons. Let's go back. Let me show you some things here. This is, I don't even know what this one was. Let's see I know what this was. This is, yes. This is what's her face. Oh, by the way, let me just get this out of the way. Linda Hazlitt says, new book, Ask Not, spills all the tea about Bobby and the other Kennedys. So good. Is that the one from Miranda? No. No, Maureen Kennedy or Callahan. Is that the one? I got the best book on the Kennedys ever. I got to get the name. This one that I've got is you can't, I mean, dear God. Jackie and her father and the sister. I'll just leave it at that. Fill in the blanks. Charlie Calais says, article about Walz claiming in 1995 he was hospitalized for over-ingesting. Okay. You know what, Charlie? First, I got to tell you something. That may be interesting. I don't know about the stories, but that's not toxic. So just to give you a story, a la the great Rod Stewart stories of the past, that's not toxic. Nobody would ever take you to the emergency room to order your stomach pumped when something is not toxic. I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know this. A lot of people don't know this, but it's the first question. I'm not going to pump his stomach. Why? Well, because no, it sounds great, but we got some other good stuff here. Let's just look at how he handled the George Floyd thing. But listen to this. This is the one. This is Scamala, who was asked at the airport her comment regarding, well, what do you have to say about, General Patton and the stolen valor? This is her take.
About your vice presidential pick leading the National Guard at 24 years. Dan said that he deserted his own troops for his own colleagues. What's your take on that?
Listen, I praise anyone who has presented themselves to serve our country. And I think that we all should.
Never answered the question. They didn't see this one coming. First of all, he wasn't a sergeant major. He was a staff sergeant. And they're coming out of they're not swift boating him. They're saying he backed out. He left. He didn't deploy to Iraq, and they had no leadership. This is one of those stories like with John Kerry. It just starts building and building and building and building because you lied initially and you never handled it. Here's Carmelita again. Remember, no press conferences. This is when she was asked about, well, you said 3. Are you going to do 3? How many? What about the debates? You going to do all 3?
Will you be participating in all 3?
I've always been on record. I am looking forward to debating Donald Trump, and we have a date of September 10th. I hear he's finally committed to it. I'm looking forward.
What about the other 2?
Let's make sure we get this photo.
Hey, notice how she's getting more and more. She's doing more of the sister voice. Have you noticed that?
Madam Vice President, Donald Trump agreed to 3 debates. Will you be participating in all 3?
I've always been on record. I am looking forward to debating Donald Trump.
Did you hear the word? I've always been on record. She did this before. This was the UAW meeting. She goes, oh, we got to get that hard work. Yes, sir. Praise God. Yes, sir. We got to get down to work. Working hard in school. All the time, all the right. Got to do it. Got to put it a pootie. What? Who is this? I don't know. I'm channeling Blind Lemon Pledge or somebody. All of a sudden, she's Mudbone Skillet or John Lee Hooker. Here's some other classics. She is so bad. This is the thing you got to understand. Here she is with that voice again. I don't know who she's doing, but oh, Jesus. I know. Yes, sir. Oh, Lord, they opened up the door. Mm-hmm. I know that's right. Mm-hmm. God bless him. Remember Diamond and Silk? Mm-hmm. That's all she said. The one who did all the talking, she died, and the one who just said, mm-hmm, I loved him. But that's all she said. Mm-hmm. That's got to be tough. It's like Penn and Teller. Okay, listen to her. Listen to this again. This soulful voice.
One thing about all of us.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, here we go. There you go. You can tell right now. Now, do me a favor. I want you to look at General Patton. Look at Blood and Guts in the back. Watch him. He gets real animated. Like, ooh, I don't know what he's doing, but she's getting that look. Now, I told you, don't know. Never mind. Homeboy has got to bet the mama tree. You got to do it right. Who are you? All right, listen to this. Here we go. Now watch his face and listen to this. Well, whatever.
You know, the one thing about all of us is we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. The thing that we like about hard work is we have fun doing hard work.
We love that hard work, don't you? I love to do hard work. I sure do. I like it very much. What you think, Timmy? Timmy done put a tampon machine inside a little boy's room. I know that's right. I love that hard work. Yes, sir. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Who is this?
Thank you to the sisters and brothers of UAW.
The sisters and the brothers. Even though you're the United Auto Workers, and I'm asking y'all to convert to electric vehicles, and all the old jobs will go away. Praise God. But you can take all that hard work and get the hell out of here, because there's going to be some Chinese fella in Beijing making all them batteries for the cars if I have my way to do it. Praise God. What you think, Timmy?
For all you are and all we will do over these next 89 days. God bless you.
Look at Timmy. He's happy.
God bless you.
There's 4 people in the room, by the way. 4 people. Look at it. There's 4 people in the room. Okay, now hang on a minute. She's talking about freedom. Now watch this one more time. Check out Blood and Guts. Okay, watch his face. Watch it.
You know, the one thing about all of us is we like hard work. Hard work is good work.
Oh, yeah.
Hard work is good work.
That's right. You tell him that's right. I know that's right. Sometimes I like to work hard in school. Freedom says, so nice, Lionel, to hear Trump today over hour without any script or teleprompter and answer real questions, never sugarcoats nothing, praise God. Thank you, brother. Or Sister Freedom. Because we like hard work, don't we? We like hard work. We do, don't we, Timmy? Timmy done put a tampon machine in the little boy's room. Did you know that? He put a tampon machine in the little boy's room. I said, Timmy, why'd you do that? He said, well, sometimes, they find out some boy has to have that time a month. I said, but he's a little boy. And she said, no, sometimes they may look like a little boy, but they may not be a little boy. I said, what you mean, Timmy? He said, I don't know. But sometimes it be like that. All right. Okay. Crypto Dominique says, Big Dick from Chicago here. Can you please do the Trump Charlottesville breakdown like you just did the RFK for a friend? I could do that perhaps later on. Yes, thank you. Victoria says, Trump visuals exhibits at the debate. Whatever, real time. Thank you. Lori Cuck says, UK makes illegal offensive retweets. Yes. They're actually going and address, what is it? They're breaking down doors and arresting people for tweeting disinformation. Remember that one? She did nothing. Okay, that is so bad. And you know what's happening? Again, Black America says, is she doing this again? Is she doing this thing again? Is she doing the black voice again? She has no interest in the hood. That's the Swedish hood. Did you know that? In der hood, in Santa Claus in December, Santa Claus comes from the birds and gives the toys to the children in the birds, in the hood. Now here's a story for you. You're gonna love this one. This is yuck yucks. This is that, like my friend said, oh, great guy, big hunter. These people are really upset with him, and he's not come on to answer the question. Listen to this.
Paul Hurd joins us right now. Paul, good morning to you.
You say Major? Hang on.
Steve, how are you?
I'm doing okay. You know, a lot of people are talking.
Hang on, was that Major?
Major Paul Hurd.
Maybe a
joins us right
sergeant
now.
major. I don't know.
Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You know, a lot of people are talking about this. J.D. Vance compared it to stolen valor. You made the initial allegation back in 2018, so the story's been out there for a while. What about what he has said is wrong?
Now, this may be a little, not lengthy, but it's worth your time and attention.
Well, he continually claims that he's a retired sergeant major. He's not. He's a retired master sergeant. He continued, you know, when the deployment first came up, we started having meetings as command sergeant majors and operations sergeant majors to collectively get our training facts together, because we were, you know, that's part of what we do as sergeant majors, is being subject matter experts in our fields and also responsible for the training of the soldiers that carry out the orders of the officers appointed over us to go into battle.
Right.
That's a pretty high priority for us, and he consistent. We were aware of his campaign bid, and so
look at him. By the way, there he is. Look at him pointing up. America's are serving his country. I'm out of here. Sorry. Can you take over? I gotta run for Congress. Love you guys. Kiss, kiss.
some order of fashion, being that it was his first one. And he consistently told us, as fellow sergeant majors at the time, that he was going to, go on the deployment.
This is command sergeant major.
You could, as I remember him saying, you can count on us. And at the same time, having backroom conversations with other people, other entities inside the Minnesota National Guard to ensure that he could retire. He subverted the chain of command. He went around the chain of command. The brigade sergeant major had no clue. These are all important facts, and he did it to continually feather his own bed. That was the shameful part of it. And then, of course, he never entered into the Sergeant Major's Academy. He never did one scrap of work. It takes years. He signed a commitment letter saying that he was going to do that job. He didn't. Yeah. And he was stripped of that title when he left the Minnesota National Guard, yet he still claims to do it.
The Minnesota National Guard did put out a statement ever since this brouhaha, and it says, among other things, Governor Tim Walz served from, and there's the dates, he held multiple positions within field artillery, and goes on to say, and culminated his career serving as the command sergeant major for the battalion. He retired as a master sergeant in 2005.
Who retires at a lower rank? I achieved the rank of field marshal and retired as a first lieutenant. What?
For benefit purposes, because he did not complete additional coursework at the U.S. Army Sergeants Major Academy. What do you think about that statement, Paul?
I went to college. I did not finish my degree, but I still consider myself a graduate. What?
Well, everybody has to understand, too, that you don't bite the hand that feeds you. So they concocted that there's a very, it was a very political answer.
That's right.
It was a political answer. He isn't a sergeant major. He didn't, and it wasn't because he didn't, it wasn't for benefit purposes. That was because he quit. Unfortunately, he didn't complete the coursework because he never entered into it. It's misleading. It sounds like he missed the last test or something. He didn't do that. He didn't do anything.
He's a liar.
He did it all under the guise that he was going to get something. Remember, we were paying him to do something all along. He was not going to do it. It's kind of like if you're in a small town and you have a volunteer fire department and you pay to train them and they work hard and they train, but they never have to fight a fire. And then you have a fire at your house, or the nation has a calling that you need to go and put your life at risk for. Right. And you as a volunteer fire department say, I think I'm quitting today. I think I'm going to take a pass on that one. Call somebody else.
Now listen to me. This may seem like you're thinking, well, this doesn't. No. It's picking up momentum because he was the one who brought this up. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to make this story up about blood and guts and I fought in Iraq. The best thing to do is say, no, look, I served my country and I'm glad, but this isn't about me. It's about the brave men and women. That's the sort of thing. I was there or just tell the truth. What's wrong with a staff sergeant? Didn't that sound great? Just tell them the truth. Just tell people the truth. I mean, or figure out, they're going to say I left. I did this, I did that. This goes to show you this level. But the issue too is this is a guy who let Minneapolis burn. He's Nero. Now, here's another one. This one's real long. I'm not going to play the whole thing for you. But this is, again, listen to how pissed off these people are.
Again, to wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
He abandoned us. What the hell kind of leader does that? He just, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
We'll get to Barron's new message for voters in a moment. But this all starts years earlier when Barron says Walz's misleading statements about his military service first led him to come forward in the fall of 2018.
So you try to get this message out, but Minnesota's largest newspaper checks it out, says it's 100% true, but yet refuses to print it.
When I hung the phone up, I said, what the hell is this, North Korea?
Back in 2005, a warning order went out to the 1st Battalion 100.
Okay, we're not going to make you go through this. Listen, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Watch this. He just started. And a lot of people are saying, you want to go? Did you see where SNL was gearing up and they wanted to ask Steve Martin to play? They were going to get, I forget who it was going to, Maya Rudolph was going to play, of course, Scamala. And they wanted Steve Martin. He said, no. You know what the real reason they say? Because he was insulted. I don't look like him. He said, well, I don't do impressions. I don't do impressions. And nobody wants, Alec Baldwin back because he might shoot somebody on the set. Oh. This is how stuff happens. This is how they're already picking up. You haven't been on and already they catch you in a lie. Why are you lying? They should have vetted him. Then they should have said, are you telling us the truth? Yes. Are you sure? Now, I told you this. Listen, dear friends. I don't know what your particular feeling is regarding Israel. I want you to know one thing. I'll make my points very, very simple. I'm an American. I wish the people peace in Israel. I'm not worried about that right now. It's terrible what's going on. It's horrible. If I know what you want to call it, genocide, it's a massacre. It's a massacre. It's going to be the worst thing anybody's ever seen. And Bibi Netanyahu was over there slapping our presidents around, showing up and demanding that he speak before Congress. And I heard somebody who was a John Kennedy was asking, well, do you support Israel? Excuse me. Is that a litmus test? Why do I have to support Israel? I don't support France. You don't ask me about Italy or any other place. This is nuts. That notwithstanding, I would sit here if I said, Mr. President, I want to be your Segretti. I want to be your Lee Atwater. I'm going to work. This is what I hope happens. I want there to be more absolute protesting. And have them say, protest, and ask them, well, let me just have you watch this. You tell me what you think about this. Check out the crowd and see the way she handles this. Now watch this. They're saying something like, Kamala, you can't hide, or something like that. It's very hard to make out.
To end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
Look at that look. Remember, we went over this morning. Look at this. She said, hey, I said something. That was unscripted. That was pretty good. See that look? Now, this is what I want to say. Excuse me, Madam Vice President. Yeah. You know, it seems to me that during the George Floyd protest, you remember those, don't you? I'm sure you do. I know Tampon Timmy does. You said that was their right to speak. In fact, when they were riots, you and CNN said that was just peaceful protesting and the like. So what you're saying is this: you allow that. He allowed Minneapolis to burn, but I can't chant words? Is that what you're saying? Let me get this straight. Soul says best was when Walz said, I want to ban the same guns that I use on the battlefield, that I carried in war. Did you see that one? Yes. We mentioned that yesterday, and I think today. The weapons he carried in war, when I was in war. So let me get this straight. You don't mind protest. You don't mind, what was his name? Dorn, the Sergeant Dorn, yeah. Yeah, Dorn, this police, I think he was working part-time or off-duty, shot and killed during these. Nobody talks about him. Nobody talks about Ashley Babbitt or anything. That's a different story. But during all of that melee, you said that was great. There was nothing wrong with that. You said it was just protest. So you got a couple of people who want to talk to you, and this is the way you speak. This is the way you speak. I saw something one night. It was an old Crossfire. And they were at some school, and it was 3 people. I think 2 black kids and 1, I don't know. But there was the same thing about African Americans, the people of color, and all this kind of stuff. And they said, okay, I'll tell you what you do. If you let us complete this, we will meet with you, and you can tell us whatever you want. They said, okay, it's a deal. Now, the only thing, she knows this is going to happen. She can see the only thing is, I promise you, I have over here a place to meet with. Now, of course, security and all this stuff notwithstanding, because there's some crazy people out there. And by the way, I don't want anybody harmed or in harm's way ever again by any lunatic or anybody posing as a lunatic to hurt anyone, any American citizen. Period. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or Taylor Swift. Did you read that one? Damn. Okay. But there's a way she could have thought of this. There's a way. And you could say it, even though your positions are valid, and even though your motivations are sincere, we must understand, and we must understand or grasp that these people want to hear us at this particular. She could have done something, but she basically said, if you bring this up, Trump's going to win. You hear that? So go on all the platforms, all the regular platforms, Democracy Today, Katie Halper, Brianna, Gray Zone, all the lefties and all the everybody. Did you hear what she said? See, they wouldn't try this with Trump because Trump just said, this is what I feel, and that's it. Kamala thinks she's going to laugh it out. That she doesn't have to deal with it. You got to make your mind up. And she has no idea. And when the convention comes, they're going to do everything in their power to cover that thing up. I want you to listen to me. What the hell was that? I want you to listen to me, and I'm going to listen to me very carefully. This woman and that jadrul can't keep this up for 90 days. And if you think so, if somebody says, hey, look at this, the Quinnipiac poll shows her up by 3, you knock yourself up. Maybe you can call Joe Rogan up and see if you can talk about Bobby Kennedy and bears and whatever it is. That's not the way it works. Everybody who has ever done anything involving campaigns, psephology, P-S-E-P-H-O-L-O-G-Y, will tell you this is ridiculous. She's peaking now. You don't pay attention to this. What are you talking about? What are you talking? This just started. So they're selling caps. So what? Wait till this starts. They're ready to go with this. The next thing you're going to hear is all the people who say, this is my storm. They lives were lost. I was a citizen of Minneapolis. My business that I put all my money into, my life savings, was destroyed. And all you had to do was call the police. And this one over here wants to defund them. George Lenz says, where's Carville? He's our barometer for that party. He's no good. Gee, all he wants to do is to go on. And by the way, real question is, where is Mary Matlin? Remember she talked like that? Mary Matlin. She had that kind of like that Bill Murray voice. In any event. If she thinks she's going to do this, if she thinks that somehow for 90 days she's going to do this, you're out of your mind. It's not going to work. And that debate, I'm telling you, if President Trump does the right thing and he says, I'm going to ask you 2 things. 2 things. I want to show her. I want her flustered. I want her to look protected. I want her to let cause it. I want him to be able to say this. I want him to say, let her talk. She wants to be president. You're not going to be there. When Putin looks at her, stares her down, or Xi Jinping, let her talk. This isn't a debate. Don't even pretend it is. Let her answer the question, unless you don't have an answer, unless you don't want to answer the question. Do you think when you're president, you can say, excuse me? Yes, we didn't agree to talk about this. Pardon me. You didn't say you were going to invade this other country. It doesn't work like that. He's got to go in and fluster and make her look weak and stupid, which she is. And I can't say this enough. She doesn't have it. She's Chauncey Gardner. They plucked her out of nothing. She's not going to make it 90 days. There's nothing there. She can't call it like this and do that. I show enough do it. No. Stop it. It's demeaning. This shucking and jiving and all this stuff. No. It's almost. Did you ever watch an old? If you wanna watch one of the best ones ever, watch the way hoodlums are portrayed in either Death Wish. My mother and I watched all the Death Wish 1, 2, 3, 4. Loved it. Just loved it. But the hoodlums on Death Wish or on Dirty Harry, any of the Dirty Harrys here. It's always, remember the black guy says, I got to know. What? Clint Eastwood had a unique version of black, but they go, come on, sucker. They always had a switchblade. It's like, a switchblade? What is this? What is this? The Jets and the Sharks? What are we going to have? Jerome Robbins, a 5, 6, 7, 8. It was the weirdest thing. But you always had these very, watch Death Wish. The guy walking around, I think it was Fishburne. He had the glasses on, the boom box. Hey, baby, always dancing. Just it's like these comical with no guns. They just had knives. I think somebody would say, listen, not for nothing, but this guy's got a gun. This switchblade business. You got that Lash LaRue. What are you? Salazzo the Turk? He was good with a knife. Soulcam says, like with Pops, muted mics will benefit Trump more as Kamala tries to talk a full minute on her own. She's never done this. She has never done this. Now they're gonna put her through it. They're gonna put her through it. And remember one thing. Everything that she does, everything she says, will have been written the night before. She stood her own. She showed a courage. She stood up to that bully. She, all of this crap. Watch what she does. Watch how they phrase it. They've got it already written out. And nobody knows. Momentum's change. Already people are going crazy. She hasn't said anything. How many people think here tonight that she can pull this off for 90 days? Go ahead. 90. And what's he going to say? What's he going to talk about? You put tampon machines in the boys' room? You think this? You think that is the best? That's one of these. What? Have you heard about this child bride legislation? We'll get to that later. These people are sick. He's a phony. They got along with this. Hey, listen, do me a favor. Listen, Timmy, come here. You're a lefty, aren't you? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I thought so. Listen, got a deal for you. What is it? Well, if you can do this, stuff for a while, if you can do that lefty jazz, we'll make it worth your while. You never made any money before, did you? No. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to follow these programs, and you're going to be a part of the most ridiculously left. You're going to go for stuff that's ridiculous. Okay. See, ethnic studies, CRT. Laurie Cuck says, please explain microwave sweet corn again. I got a video on that, Cuck. It's right there. Go look at it. I did it. It's very simple. Very simple. If you had I don't know what you want to say. If there's the corn, that has the end, there's, the part that goes towards the sun. What am I trying to say? The stalk, the stem. Get it, just buy it, and don't unshuck it. Just throw it in for 4 minutes in a microwave on high. 4 spins around. When you get done, be very careful. It's hot. It's inside is hot. Cut the end off, a good portion of it. The end where the stalk is, and just squeeze it out. It comes right out. No silk, no nothing. Oh my God. I go through 2 huge cobs, I guess you call them, a day. Kevin says, I can't wait to see who Trump puts in the first row of the debate. She will be jabbering mess when confronted. Well, Kevin, she does. Let's see what she does. They're going to try. Remember, they're going to try. This is what I'm telling you. Listen, Uncle Lenny here. They're going to try to train her to predict this. He's got to go in and just change the rules. This is going to be most probably the last. They're going to say, we're not going to do another debate because he's a convicted felon, or he's a liar, or something like that. So he's got to go he has got to make her absolutely reduce her to, he was so smart with Biden. He just let Biden fall apart. Came across respectful. Not this time. Not this one. You still for defund the police? Yeah. Don't tell me you're not. Victoria says, Trump could bring a tablet and queue up vid of Scamala, I guess. Oh, well, he could. You know what? If anybody, when you see the laughing and everything, when you see it strung together, it's really awful. But start off like this, very simply. Your running mate, blood and guts over there, Tampon Timmy, when he was a governor of Minnesota, he let Minneapolis burn. And you decided to solicit funds to bond out people who destroyed that beautiful city. Now, you're going to say it was a misunderstanding, didn't you? You actually put your name to that, to bond out. And there are 4 people who were bonded out who later went on to do worse, much less kill, murder, whatever. What is the matter with you? What is the matter? What planet are you living on? That's the stuff to ask. Not, would you please explain yourself? No. Make an accusation. Look at the American people. As that beautiful city, what he couldn't finish up, you actually said, let's go ahead. By the way, did you put any type of efforts on your part to defend the poor people who basically were innocently caught up in these dragnets on January 6th, who were just standing there, who didn't know what anything was, there might still be people in some underground gulag. I have no idea. Did you have a problem with that? What is the matter with you? You don't think that people who destroy, you think that burning, you shut down some kids because they just wanted to speak. You wouldn't tolerate that. You told them to shut up. In fact, if I recall correctly, you said, if you keep this up, if you express your feelings, Donald Trump is going to win. How does that work? How does that work? How is allowing brave students to be heard somehow returning into me? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Let's face it. You don't know what you're talking about, do you? You never thought you'd be in this position. You thought it'd be a lot easier. Do you know what this job is? Do you know what it is? Do you have, and I can't even, you may know a little something, but I'll bet you old Pops doesn't know anything either. I can tell you stuff right now. I don't want the people to know that I went through. That is to this day and will forever be classified. I don't want anybody to know, but let me tell you something. You better be able to really keep your food down in that job. And you can't laugh these people away. And the moment you try to give them some trite little and have that translator translate this gibberish about yellow school buses and the community bank is the community and unbothered by it doesn't work. This may be some great part of some DEI. Oh, I don't care. Own it. They told us about DEI. There's also CRG. There was this. Remember during that whole right around the time of Bud Light, when corporations had to, it's called CRG or something like that. They love the initials, not acronyms, initials. And you did it. You were proud of that. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Everything with it. And now you say it's racist? If I bring it up? Why do you think you're there? You're DEI. Don't take my word for it. Listen to what Joe Biden said. The day after he nominated or picked you, he wasn't talking about how smart you are, how skilled you were. You were the first African-American woman. That's all he cared about. Ketanji Brown Jackson, African-American woman. How's she doing this? The hell with it. African-American. Got it. Done. Got it. Did it. African-American. I did it. Don't care anything about you. You're a check mark. A little quota. That's the way these people think. So that when I bring it up, I'm a racist because I bring up and I remind you exactly what you're doing here. And one more thing. You made a big deal out of the fact that I said you were black and then you were Asian. You did this. I didn't bring this up. You did. Every 5 minutes, I'm Asian. This, I'm Indian. This is an Indian food. My Indian mother. Talk about this. I'm Indian. I'm Indian. And then you talked about Jamaican. So don't give me that. You got to figure out what you want. Make up your mind. Because let me tell you something. When you're in that position, and you probably don't know this because you and I know that Pops Biden never had you do anything. You were just a check box. He didn't know he'd be sunsetting this fast. He never thought he'd be out. And what you did to him was disgusting. 14 million Democrats wanted him. Why? I have no idea. A lot of people get tattoos on their neck. I have no idea why. But they had their chance. And what did you do? You came along and said, you're gone. That was a palace coup. You Pearl Harbored him. You sandbagged him. You took him right out. You 86 this guy. You and Barry Obama. And don't give me that business about Barry Obama. He's not in charge of anything. And now he's walking around going, you don't even acknowledge him. In fact, we don't even know who's running the show right now. Your whole world, Scamala, is a scam. It's a storyline. It's one opportunistic moment after another. From Willie to Montel to the giggles to the laughing to these stupid dances you do to old weird Doug. How about old Doug knocking up the teacher and the nanny? I mean, come on. What is this? And you think I'm bad? You think I'm bad, that I'm the reprobate? Let me tell you something. Listen to me like you've never, ever, ever listened to me before. She can't do it. They can't carry her for 90 days doing nothing. And when Trump realizes, okay, Donnie boy, this is it. This is it. You better let her have it like nobody's business. Andrew says, hey, Corn Julio, don't you feel that the people that are really in charge are laughing their arse off? That even politicians aren't pushing back? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think right now, and I mean it, I believe that there are people who are sitting back, many of them from other places in the world, looking back at us and thinking, my God, I thought these people were something when we're not. I do not want you to lose faith. I will tell you when to lose faith. I'll tell you when things are good and when they're bad. And things are so good right now because I'm telling you, listen to what I'm telling you and listen carefully, like you've never listened before. Listen to me. She can't do this for 90. And this guy is going to be a liability nobody thought, because that dog don't hunt in Washington politics. That may be okay for Minnesota. That may be okay. Nobody cares. Doesn't matter. This is different. All of that baggage, now we get to see for the first time. So you think about that one. All right, my friends. What a night. I hope this, I don't mean to say I hope this makes you feel better, because I'm not saying this to make you feel better. I'm saying this because it's the truth. It's the truth. Don't forget, my friends, October the 26th at the Cutting Room, 10 days before the election. Wow. Wow. That's all I want to say. Also, thank you for following Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. And there is the link to click to go right to the sign up. You can also be a member of it. You're going to be seeing, I'm telling you, she's putting out stuff. You cannot believe the legislation and what's happening. You will not believe it. You will not believe what you're hearing. Believe me when I say that to you. So Andrew Hessing, thank you. Victoria, thank you. Kevin, Laurie, Cuck, Soul 76, George Lenz, thank you. Crypto Domini, Big Dick out of Chicago, thank you so much. Freedom, Charlie Calais, everybody. Linda Hazlitt, Bimmy Bean, a new member. I think we mentioned Freedom. Nathan Shield, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Diazio, Tabor, Victoria Bentley, a new member, and the lovely and talented Eric Heffelfinger, who joins us. We love yous all of you incredible people. Remember this, and remember, I'm just going to tell you this. So many great things have happened. So many things have happened. Believe me, there is not one person at the DNC who says, we got it. This is smooth sailing. Unless they just go out of their way and pull a Philly again with the cardboard on the windows and just take it again. But they can't, because everybody is smarter this time. They understand it. They can't do it. That was a one-time shot. Sorry, it was a one-time shot. Everybody knows how it works right now. All right, dear friends, have a great, 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 great evening. We will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And until then, dear friends, remember these wonderful words. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.